Please always ensure to enable the macros. Hello and welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial we shall be looking at a prefilled sample, as I mentioned earlier. So here is where I filled the subjects offered in the class, the students' names and their general data for section A. Section B, I've retained the grade scale. I've typed in the first session year and the class. We shall get back to section C later. The next tab after the class data tab is where you enter the CA and the exam scores. Now, I said I was going to explain what off and on mean. Let's say all the subjects are on and we go to the report card. Please do not mind the squished photos. This is because I'm using version 2010 of Excel, and that's what happens when you use Excel. That's what happens when you use Excel 2010. It's the only version that squishes photos like this. So let me just pick another photo that doesn't squish. Okay. So when all the subjects are on, they all appear in the report card and are computed as part of the general result. So here 20 subjects were offered by all of the students in the school or in the class. However, if I tend to switch off, let's say I switch off mathematics and switch off social studies here, this automatically removes this subject from the computation of the report card for the entire class, although the subjects and scores are still listed here, but it will not be a part of the computation. For instance, here, as we can observe, all the scores for both mathematics and social studies have been removed, and of course down here the number of subjects offered have reduced to 18. So this is what is going to be computed for the entire class. As I think the class average has also changed. Let me switch this 69.3. Let me switch back off and on. Let's see the effect on the class average. 69.3. So 69.3 is now 69.79. If I switch this on, 69.79, 69.85. So it's affecting the entire calculation of the class results. So that's what that does. So it's useful in case maybe in one term the teacher for the particular subject was available, and in other times he or she wasn't. So it doesn't affect the entire computation or computation of the report card in subsequent terms. Also, another feature in this template is the on and off feature for the students, particularly at the extreme right, where you have switch student on or off. Once you switch off a student, that student will no longer be that student will be assumed was not available for that time. So none of his scores will be computed as part of the general report computation. So let's, for instance, put off Armin Brian and Olawumi Oluwabamike, and we'll go to the report card. So under the drop down list, those two students, their names will no longer appear on the drop down list, as we can see here. So it's assumed they were not in that available for that time, although they've not been removed from the entire report session in the template, but for that particular time when they were off, It is assumed they were not present at all for that time. So this is useful for maybe new students who join the school maybe in second term or third term. So other previous terms can be switched off, and then only the present term coming on. Or for students who were present in first term and second term and then went to a different school in third term, you can also switch them off in the particular time which they were absent, and then it's going to give us a better computation for the general report card for the class. So if I go back to switch them on, remember this is for first term, so it only has effect on the first term report. If I go back to switch on, she should appear. So allow me has appeared, and then if I switch on, so of course they also affect the general. Brian has appeared. They also affect the general class average for the entire class. So this is particularly very useful, like I've explained. So I hope that is going to be helpful future. Okay, let's go on. Let's go back here. Here's where the attendance for each term registered the total attendance for the term. The teacher's remark. The principal's remark can be stated here if it's going to be, if you don't want it to be automated by the system, so you can put your own personalized principal's remarks here. Now the signed date the report was being signed, or the end of the term. The next term resumption date, which appears in the report card, and the total time school open. So these two dates are particularly very important, and helps in the proper functioning of the software template. Also, the session date is also important. Without those three dates being imputed, it's very likely that your report may not generate any scores. Now, for instance, if the sign date was not entered, the effect is something like this on the report card, whereas if it were entered, that's the report card. So the report is good to go. Of course, remember that this is because I've switched off this subject for the first time. If we go back there, mathematics, you see it's off. So if we on it back, that's something to show. Of course, the squishing of the photo is because of Excel 2010. So we recap. If the date wasn't there, it affects the report card. So the date has to be there, and the format to enter the date is, for example, the day slash the month slash the year. Something similar. So it will give you the full date to ensure that you entered it correctly. If you write the date in a different way, which is not allowed, 12th of June 2022, this is not allowed, so the report will not work. So it has to be written in the format that was earlier prescribed. So that's 12/, slash 2022. So this way the report card picks it up and it works well. This is the report interface, like we've already said. So you can choose the students' names from here, and Ctrl P will print the report. However, if you want to print all of the reports at once, use this print feature here. Please ensure if you want to print the whole student, just remove the range, and then this will ensure once you click on print, it will send all of the available reports to the printer. However, if you want to print a particular range, maybe from 1 to 20, or from 5 to 10, or from 20 to 30, or 15 to 50, or whatever range, just type in the range. So let's say, for instance, I'll just want to print 2 results. 3, 5 to 7 reports from the 5th person to the 7th person. I want to print the result. Of course, I have to set my printer first. My printer, I'm using a virtual printer, so that's it. So once I click on print, it's going to print out the results that are available for student 5 to student 7. That's 3 report cards. So let me wait while they print. It's coming. Okay. So that's the third one. That's 3 report cards. That's what I printed. So if I go, see these are the reports that have been printed. This is the first report card. The second, and then the third that was printed just now. So let's go back. So that's how that works. Under the subject list, we have what we call subject, default, and custom. Under default, what happens is the subject are listed exactly the same, the way that it was listed in the home page here in the class data. But that's where section C comes in handy. The custom subject list appears as it does under section C here, but it comes with a caveat, and it's under this section where the elective subjects come to play. Now, first of all, for senior classes where you have maybe different departments and they have elective subjects, this is where the department comes into play. The custom subject list works very well, works with the departmental demarcation. So list all of the subjects, the general subjects here in the positions you want them to appear in the report card, and then for the elective subjects, the space, instead of putting the 3 elective subjects here and then have them appear separated with a stroke, we can just assign them here. That will be offered by science class, commercial, art, and any other department available. So what this does is, for once the report card detects a science student, it's going to fix social studies here. Once the report card detects a a commercial student is going to put physical and health education here. Once the report dictates an art student is going to put home economics here. So it does the same for this other line list. So let's see, for example, the report card. Physical and health education here means at least I think the student is a commercial student. Patrick. Is a commercial student. So the first student, two students will have science, social study. The next one, Martins, is art, so home economics will show. And the first two students, social studies. So that's what happens. So it is useful for elective, having elective subject listed on the report plan. So that's how the custom subject list works. It's the same for second term, third term. Please, this squished photo because of Excel 2010 that I'm using for this demo. It doesn't happen for other versions of Excel. That's why we don't recommend using 2010 for Excel for this template. This is the annual report. The same thing that happens for the images can be added here. Please, the maximum size of each image, because of the total number of students this report is handling, this template is handling, should be as minimum. The maximum should be 160 pixel width by 200 pixel height, and many other size may cause the template to malfunction. So please strictly adhere to that. There are videos that shows how you can resize and crop your photos so that they will be adequate for use in this template. The external data, I'll talk about this later. So I think we've covered most of the general issues with this. So I'll see us in the next demo. Thank you for watching.